If you could choose your screen name for a Hallmark movie, what would it be?
I just I'm a Jane Austen fan too, so let's mix Jane Austen with Hallmark, so I'm a Lizzie Bennet.
I really like the name Rosalind, and then Rosie for short.
Sunny and Warm.
In a couple Jeanette Oki books that I love, and so one of them was Ellie Davis.
My name would be Athanasia Davis.
What's wrong with Becky? I've had this name for 66 years. I'm just kind of used to it.
Anne Hall.
Would you pay money to see a Hallmark movie?
I would pay money. My life is pretty boring right now. I don't have much to do. And I think I would pay money because I need more excitement in my life.
I paid money to watch Hallmark movies in Ghana.
I mean, of course, they're so worth it. Who wouldn't?
No. At this point, I think that they should really be paying me to write their storylines for them.
I've bought in several of their movies, so I've paid.
Probably not. I might consider them if it's really cheap, real cheap.
No.
I guess it depends how much.
Which Bible story should Hallmark create a movie about?
The story of Ruth. I thought that one would actually be a pretty good one that they could do.
They should do it about Esther, because who doesn't like a good beauty pageant?
There is the story of Joseph, how it has a little bit of a nice ending, sad beginning, and he gets married, has children.
I think Ruth.
Okay.
Ruth, because the storyline is it's just a wonderful love story.
I think that the story of Mary and Martha, sisters.
Ooh.
And how sisters are.
What romantic gesture does a man do for his lady in your country?
They'll hire a mariachi group, and they'll go and they'll play. When we used to live in another area, we'd hear it a lot more often. It was in the apartments, and about 1 o'clock in the morning, you'd hear all of a sudden a trumpet, and they'd have you could hear the guitars and the violins. Really pretty.
Now, I asked one person, their response was, people aren't romantic here.
Okay. Take walks down the Rambla. It's like some parts is cobblestone, some parts is cement, but it's a really nice beach line walkway.
The most romantic thing that my husband can do for me is kill a giant spider.
He'll ride his girlfriend on his handlebars of his bicycle, and they just ride down the road together, or on the back of his motorcycle, or take her to go get an ice cream cone, a dulce de leche ice cream cone, or have a merienda together, which is a late afternoon snack. So
I told you I ain't got nothing for that.
I really don't.
The men here are so unromantic. It's not even funny.
Well, when a bloke in Australia meets a Sheila he's completely gobsmacked about, he might buy her some sangers from the tucker shop. Or maybe he will pump her petrol at the servo. Or he might buy her some sunnies at the op shop. Whatever he needs to do to let that Sheila know that she is fair dinkum. Or whatever that means.
Is there a region or a place in your country that Hallmark should consider filming in?
Punta del Este is a really rich, can be considered more touristy, but it's one of the most beautiful places there in Uruguay.
The Serengeti.
Anywhere in downtown Buenos Aires, I think, would be a great location.
It's called Lago de Chapala. A really nice. It's actually the biggest lake in Mexico. It's the freshwater lake, and it has an island, and it's called Scorpion Island. And it's really nice to be kind of romantic, kind of spooky.
When I thought about it, I really thought the Great Barrier Reef would be a beautiful location. I just envisioned a scuba instructor rescuing a vacationing diver from an imminent shark attack, fearing that she would suffer from the same fate as his late wife, who died from a stingray puncture to the heart. And I just could imagine their love blossoming.
Oh, the coast along the Mediterranean. It is just beautiful. Weekend trips.
Iloilo Baptist Church.
As all Hallmark movies have a tragic event, what tragic event could a romantic gentleman save his girl from in your country?
And here in Mexico, when it starts to rain, it floods. When it starts to rain that hard, that fast. I don't know what it is about the sewer system. So I think, if someone walking in the street and just starts to get washed away, could be saved by some heroic adventurer.
Maybe buy her the mask to keep from getting COVID. Spray her with off so she doesn't get dingy.
Okay, so he might save her maybe from a snake climbing up her toilet, or maybe rescue her prawns from being stolen brought by a kangaroo off the Barbie, or maybe rescue her baby from being eaten by a dingo. Nothing too crazy, nothing too dangerous.
Snake attack.
Yeah, I thought that a robbery or a motorcycle accident, because
There is a Trotro driver, and he's in one of those those minivan type things, and he loses control. The brakes go out, and he's careening to the side of the road where this lady is carrying her goats, and some man comes and whisks her to the side.
Would you consider the Hallmark Channel a grown-up Disney Channel?
for middle-aged housewives, yes.
I think so.
I feel like Hallmark doesn't have as much of a variety as Disney.
Some ways, yeah, I guess.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Do you watch Hallmark movies with your daughters?
Definitely during Christmas time. That's an absolute must.
Mm-hmm.
And then probably I'll find other times.
No. Well, if we were to watch one, it would be about Christmas time.
Definitely. I mostly want to have that time with them to be able to instill in them that their Prince Charming is out there, to wait for him.
If you had unlimited access to the Hallmark movies, how many movies would you watch this holiday season?
Possibly a third of one.
Many. And probably because I'm missing snow and it's very hot here. So I would probably watch many just to try to cool off.
Well, I mean, that depends. That depends on a lot of things. I mean, obviously, if I'm homeschooling my kid, I'm going to have character, and I have to homeschool the kid.
Right.
Do breakfast.
You
played at malaria hours. It's going to be on.
Uno, huh?
Does the way you met your husband resemble a Hallmark movie in any way?
So not in how we met, but with our engagement story, there are a lot of tragic backstories to it that honestly, I'm surprised Hallmark hasn't called us up and asked to license our story for a new movie for them. But if you don't know our backstory, my husband, after we got engaged, flew to Australia while I stayed in Michigan. And when he came in 2 weeks before our wedding, flew into the States, he was denied entry and was sent back to Australia, where it took us another 9 to 10 months for him to be able to come over to America where we could finally get married. And if that's not a tragic backstory for Hallmark, then I don't know what is.
I think it could, if you got creative with the details. I think you could make a storyline out of it. The situation, we had both been kind of eyeing one another, and then we were cast in a Christmas play.
My first day at House Anderson College, I got my work scholarship assignment, and it was in the admissions office. And my husband happened to be the admissions director, unmarried, no ring. Hers is more of a spiritual one. She was really searching.
Right. So I did. I mean, I fasted and prayed for a long time before I started dating anybody, and I knew I was done dating. I didn't want to date anymore. I wanted to know the guy and get married. It was just I didn't want to date around.
He just happened to stop at a lunch table, and we were talking, and everyone just disappeared. There was just only 2 of us left at the table. And so we walk off together, and I looked at him and I said, You talk too much and I'm not interested in you. That's what I told him. And he just kept coming and coming and coming. And finally I told him, I was like, I can't, no. And then the rest was history. He was persistent.